You think you've heard everything? Food stamps for drugs, y'all. Food stamps for drugs. These demons are out of their minds out here. Man trades food stamps for elephant tranquilizer, fatally overdoses another. Let me go ahead and play this video.
We need an ambulance at Sycamore Street. Hey, hurry up now! These people showed up my house and they're dying.
We started getting all these calls. The initial call, if my memory's right, said there's people dead everywhere in this house. Every ambulance that we had in the city of Huntington went to this neighborhood because we had so many people overdosing.
Carfentanil is a veterinary tranquilizer, and it's a tranquilizer that's used for very large animals like rhinoceroses and elephants. And throughout the country, we're seeing fatal overdoses associated with carfentanil.
Carfentanil is 50 to 100 times more potent than regular fentanyl, which means it's up to 10,000 times more potent than morphine. With that huge potency, just the amount of a few grains of sand could be enough to kill.
And if I can see it visually, this is about 0.6 milligrams. This could likely be a fatal dose.
It doesn't care anything about who you are, how much money you are, what your race is, where you come from. Carfentanil is a killer, and it will put you down quickly.
Chrissy had a very complex personality. She had a very caring side. She was very compassionate. She was a good friend to a lot of people. But she also had kind of a darker side. She had struggled with anxiety and depression for a good part of her life. We started to get the sense that something was wrong and that she was unsettled. She had come home to visit and she broke down and said, I've been using drugs and I want to stop and I want to move home. She seemed to be really moving forward, and we didn't have any indication again until we found the day we found her. I'll go up to her room and I knock on her door, and Chrissy didn't hear anything, and knock louder, still didn't hear anything. I was like, okay, well, good, she's gone to work. But just to be sure, I open the door and I look in her room, glance around, don't see her, and about to close the door, and I glance over and I see her on the floor by her bathroom, and she was crumpled up on the floor. She was cold to the touch when I touched her. Almost 8 months later, after she had passed away, and several months after we had gotten the original medical examiner report, we had the police had found the individual who had sold the heroin to Chrissy, and they let us know then that there was fentanyl and carfentanil had been found. And that was the first time we had heard about carfentanil.
That's when we really became aware of how deadly this is, and how it's starting to permeate throughout society.
When they originally did the toxicology in conjunction with the autopsy, they were not testing for carfentanil.
Carfentanil, we've really only started to see recently. And in Manatee County especially, we saw carfentanil really explode onto the scene in 2016 as a drug that was being abused and causing a very large number of deaths. That test to identify the drug in biological samples, say if we're going to test somebody's blood to see if that drug caused an overdose, didn't exist at that time when we were first made aware of carfentanil. We were expecting to find a good number of cases, but the huge number of cases we found, especially in June, July, and August from 2016, was really just a big surprise to us. I think it's fair to say that whatever numbers we have for carfentanil locally or statewide or nationally, they're underestimates because there's no question that there are cases that we're missing.
Okay, had to listen to these people and their junkie daughter. Okay, let's move on. A Fairview Township resident traded food stamps for a drug known as elephant tranquilizer and fatally overdosed a man with it, authorities say. Brett Daniel Ziegler, which don't sound like no black dude, gave carfentanil to 37-year-old Jeremy Umfred, who overdosed on the drug later that day, according to court documents. Ziegler, 38, of the 600 block of Gap Road, faces charges of drug delivery resulting in death and involuntary manslaughter. Kyle King, spokesman for the York County District Attorney's Office, confirmed Tuesday that Ziegler is the first person to be charged in York County with providing carfentanil, resulting in a death. According to Newberry Township Police, Umfred had arranged for Ziegler to take him and Umfrey's fiancée to Harrisburg, where Ziegler would sell food stamps for money. Ziegler picked Umfrey and his fiancée up at 3 p.m. January 13th and drove them to Harrisburg. So this is Pennsylvania. According to court documents, police said Ziegler went into a store and exchanged the food stamps for money. Ziegler then dropped the two off near Self-Lift Chevrolet dealership in Harrisburg, drove away, and returned later with 4 bags of drugs, police allege. Ziegler used the money from the food stamp sales to buy the drug and gave 3 of the bags to Umfrey, documents stated. Police say Ziegler kept a bag for himself. According to court documents, Ziegler dropped the 2 off at their home. Later, Ziegler called Humphrey, fiance, and asked where he was, police allege. Humphrey was found unresponsive on the bedroom floor and slouching position with his head between his knees. Court documents stated Newberry Township Police were sent to his home on Ridge Road at about 4:45 p.m. January 13th. His fiancée performed CPR on him, but he was still unresponsive, police said. Umfred was taken to Harrisburg Hospital by ambulance. He was pronounced dead at 9:30 a.m. January 16th. Blood taken from Humphreys confirmed was carfentanil in his system when he died. Dauphin County Coroner's Office determined Umfred's cause of death was carfentanil toxicity. I mean, I just can't believe these people would take their lives into their hands for a high that is certain to kill them. And they said that carfentanil kills you within seconds. It's not like it's something and it may take a few hours to kill you. That shit kills you in seconds. Police found 2 bags at Humphrey's house, one empty and one full, and 2 were given to state police for analysis, police said. In May, state police confirmed the baggies contained fentanyl and carfentanil, documents stated. Officials say carfentanil, an analog of the synthetic opioid fentanyl, is 100 times more potent than fentanyl and 10 times more potent than morphine. Like the woman said, you give it to damn elephants and rhinoceros. Those animals weigh a few tons. It's commonly referred to as elephant tranquilizer because it's used to sedate large animals, according to officials. Well, if you're not a large animal, of course it's going to kill you. Umfred was pronounced dead in Dauphin County. The Dauphin County Coroner's Office would consider his overdose death as one within their jurisdiction. York County Coroner Pamela Gay said in August that the first confirmed carfentanil death in York County was in June. Newberry Township Police Chief John Snyder said the case unique and said carfentanil typically isn't seen in the township. Charges were filed September 29th, and as of Tuesday, Ziegler had not been arrested. Okay, so he's responsible for the death of somebody and he was not arrested. This was definitely a white dude, because if it was a black man, they would have arrested him on the spot. He provided the drugs that killed someone, but he has not been arrested. This ain't nothing but white privilege. Please tell me what you think, ladies and gentlemen. Please leave your comment and subscribe. And if you can donate to my channel, please do. And those of you that have donated between Saturday and Sunday, I deeply appreciate it. Peace, family.